20. Orla. Shortly after we left the shop, the rain stopped and the sun peeked from behind a dark cloud like a shy child from behind their mother's skirt. We were taping Samim's flyer to the side of a bus stop when a girl with carroty orange hair pulled into a high ponytail walked up to us. She wore football gear and had sparkly grey eyes. They shone like the tiny pebbles at the bottom of the river that Samim and I used to collect when we were little. "What are you two up to?" she asked, and all my thoughts about rivers and sparkly pebbles scattered away. I looked at Musa, who dropped his cake box on the ground together with his jaw. "Marvelous evening to you." He bowed to the girl, and it was the first time I heard him use my long fancy greetings. I scowled at him. The girl rolled her eyes at Musa. Serves him right. Musa picked his cakes up from the ground and pulled his Spider-Man cap down, hiding his red face. "We spread these flyers around the town," I told the girl. "Flyers," Musa corrected me. I cleared my throat. "Flyers." The girl snatched one from my hand and read out aloud. "You know Samim Ali?" "Who is Samim Ali?" "He is my friend." My finger underlined the part that said, "Tall Afghan boy. He plays chess, knows pie, loves stars and planets." "What's pie?" the girl asked. Donkey-head me only knew what pie was because of Samim, but my chin still went up as I proudly explained. "Pi is a number that has no end." The girl folded her arms. "Well, how does he know it if it has no end?" "Good question. He knows some of it, the beginning part, without looking." She rolled her eyes. "If you say so," and stuck out her chin. "Anyway, I'm Ola. What's your name?" "Zayn." "Zayn? Like the guy from the boy band? My friend had a life-size cutout of him." Nothing in that sentence made any sense to me. "No, just Zayn from Afghanistan," I replied quietly. The girl smiled. Why my answer made her happy, I couldn't tell you, but my 100-year-old inner wise man was very proud. And so was teenage me, who liked the way Orla's smile made her cheeks dimple. "My name is Musa," Grasshopper butted in. "Would you like some cakes?" He stretched the box to her. "Nah, I'm okay." Orla wrinkled her nose at Musa. Grasshopper looked down again, and I felt a little sorry for him. "You play football?" I pointed at her ball. "Do you?" "I love football." "Wanna play?" "Always." "Okay then, follow me. Let's see what you've got." "I don't have anything. I just like football," I shouted as we followed her, and she looked back at me, laughing. She led us to the patch of green behind the supermarket, our secret place where the twins, Musa and I, used to chase the ball. Grasshopper and I froze and exchanged a look. It felt strange to be here without Nico and Luan. "What is it?" Orla asked, noting us stop. "We come to play here," I said, "with friends before." "Before?" she asked. I nodded. "They are missing." I turned to her. "Maybe you saw them. Nico, Luan, twins." Her face tensed for a moment, then she looked away and shook her head. I sighed, staring at the empty pitch. It seemed different now, smaller, lonelier. "This was our favorite place," I said, "but I never see you play here." "Well, I've never seen you play here either." She shrugged, then kicked the ball, sending it straight between the goalposts. Few months earlier, fresh out of the English Channel, I would have stared at her like a donkey at a newspaper. A girl scoring better than any boy I'd ever met? Impossible! But after months in an English school, I'd learned that girls could do everything boys did, and half the time they did them better. "Your turn." Orla threw a ball at my feet. I took a deep breath, swung my legs, and launched the ball. It arced through the air before disappearing into the hole where the net should have been. Nice, she said. My face was shining so brightly it could guide ships at night. Thank you very well, I said, my chin up. Very much, Musa muttered. Very much well. Musa slapped his forehead. Ola ran after the ball. Wanna play together? Yes. She put the ball on the ground between us. On the count of 3. I had no clue what that meant, but when she counted to 3 and leapt towards the ball, I got the idea. She was fast, but so was I. I nudged the ball from under her feet and dribbled it towards the goals. Orla tackled me out of the way with her elbow. I landed on my back, wet grass painting the backside of my jeans green. If she was a boy, I'd tackle her back. But I couldn't fight with a girl. What about me? What about me? Musa sprinted after us. You can be the ref, I yelled, jumping back to my feet. I caught up with Orla, stole the ball and scored my first goal. Damn it! Orla shook her head. Musa gave me a thumbs up, then marched to the side of the pitch, hands behind his back, calling out, 1-0 to Zayn. Do you think you can score a goal with your eyes closed? Orla asked, dribbling the ball. I shrugged. I do all the time when I play with Musa. She threw her head back, laughing. My cheeks jumped into a grin. With each goal, the score mattered less, at least to me. And even though Orla was pushing and elbowing me at every corner, and my clothes were now slimy and brown, that day, on that scruffy pitch, I walked away with stains that would never wash out. 2 battered knees, a sore backside, and the best time I'd had for my whole stay in England. As we strolled back through the town, Orla kept looking left and right, as if worried that someone might see her. That was the first sign I ignored that told me something wasn't right. Where do you live, Orla? Musa asked. Not far from here. You? In that refugee hotel. So you are refugees then? Her face tightened as she said it. Does she think less of us because we're refugees? Yes, we are. Zayn and I are roommates and best friends, Musa declared proudly. Orla smiled at him. Got it. Grasshopper bounced on his toes. Did you know there's a frog in the Arctic that actually dies and comes back to life? Orla blinked. What? I slapped my forehead. Please, no. Well, not proper dies, Musa rushed on. In winter, it freezes, like totally solid. Its heart stops and everything. Then, when it gets warmer, it melts and is fine. Just hops off like nothing happened. Grasshopper hopped, pretending to be a frog, but to me, he looked even more like a grasshopper now. Orla stared at Musa for a second, then laughed. Did you know that you're an oddball? I did, Musa nodded happily. Zayn keeps telling me I'm as odd as a camel in a herd of sheep. Orla burst into laughter, and I felt bad. Not for offending Grasshopper, but because I was worried she'd think I was a meanie. She shook her head. Nothing wrong with being odd. I'm nothing like anyone I know, and I'm fine with that. Musa beamed, then nudged me with an elbow and whispered in my ear, Orla and I are oddballs. I rolled my eyes at him. Orla picked up the pace, sprinting away. Bye, just Zayn from Afghanistan. Bye, ref. See you at the field tomorrow. She called over her shoulder before vanishing round the corner. She called me ref, Musa muttered. His face melted into a smile. As we walked back to the hotel, with Grasshopper rumbling about how Orla and he were oddballs and how she called him ref, I realized that the sack of rocks on my chest, the one that usually ground me with worries no matter what I do, had gone quiet for the whole time we played football. That was a miracle that lasted exactly one day.